we on?
Whenever you're ready.
All right. In life, and teachers and students, teachers, coaches, instructors, whatever, people that are teaching are very important in our world and our society. But if you're not really applying what they are teaching you, then it's kind of pointless. So there's many opportunities that we will come across in our lifetime, and that's why teachers open the door, but you must enter by yourself, and that's a Chinese proverb. It is something that I would have to agree with, because they will teach you something, but you have to, on your test, they're not going to be there to hold your hand with you. They're not going to be there for you to ask questions. And it's not just the case with school or teachers, it's also in many other aspects of life, as far as sports. Coaches, they'll teach you many different things, as far as if it's baseball, how to hit the ball a certain way, or how to hit the ball opposite field, or whatever it is, or football, basketball, whatever the sport is. The coach isn't going to be out there on the field with you, playing for you. So you have to really take advantage of what you're learning in the classroom or practice and apply it in life and whatever the field is. Also, I think that when they say teachers open the door is sort of a metaphor for opportunities. And whatever, if you're trying to major in a certain subject, or you don't know what you want to do going into class, let's say, for instance, I came here, I didn't know what I wanted to major in, and I took a counseling course, and the class really opened up a lot of doors to me, and I realized that I want to major in communications. And that was something that I didn't know. Like, if I wasn't paying attention to the doors that were being opened, I would have never been able to, I'm sure I would have eventually found a major, but it would have been a lot more difficult, and maybe I wouldn't have picked the right one that suited me. So I think that people, like teachers and coaches, or whatever they are very important in our society, and we should sort of try and cherish it more, instead of being like, oh, I gotta go to class, this dude doesn't know what he's talking about, I don't want to be here. We should really pay attention and value, because there's a lot of opportunities that we have that could be open through, whether it's school, sports, whatever. If you're listening to someone speak on television, president, politicians, whatever it is. And it's something that I think is undervalued, and it's one thing that I really think that we can do a better job of, especially as students. We're here at college, we're here to learn, and there's many opportunities that are open for us. And if we don't take advantage of them, we're sort of wasting our time here, and we're sort of just going through the motions, just getting through, just do it. And there's a lot of opportunities for us, and I think that we could do a better job of that. Also, as I said earlier, we are going to have to apply these things that we learn, and we can't really, they're not going to be there for us to hold our hand through the test or the game or whatever it is that they taught us earlier. So I think we have to also work at it and kind of perfect it, study, practice, whatever it is. And while teachers do open the doors for us, we have to enter them by ourselves, and we have to really sort of value it and apply our craft. Thank
you. That's your souvenir for the day. If you want me to sign it for you after class, it's $5.
All right. I would have charged you.
Well, you can sell it on eBay later.
All right. That's good.
Make it $2.50 profit.
All right. You had a little trouble with that opening. You just couldn't quite get that first sentence going very easily. But once you got to the topic, I thought that you slid into the presentation pretty effectively. There's a nice transition to your point of view, and that worked reasonably well. It sounded like you were going to get started on a preview, but ultimately you don't really have a preview. You just start talking about the subject matter. And internally, as a consequence, there's not as much structure as there could be, although you have some good examples to talk about. I did think at one point that you found a good spot to conclude at, and I don't know what happened, whether you saw the time or whether you just decided maybe I needed to do something else. But instead of stopping at that one moment that seemed really right, you just, let me go on for a while more. And it just, I think it undercut the effect that you were going to have with the audience as a consequence. Presentation issues, your voice projects fine. I think you could use a little bit more variety. There was nothing wrong with what you were doing, but maybe a little more energy. Same sort of thing with your facial expressions. You don't look particularly nervous, but you also seem a little passive, a little quiet, and I know it's tough to be up in the morning and that sort of thing, but you want to be a little more engaged. Smile a little bit to try and engage people. You make eye contact, but most of the eye contact is right in front of you. I think you want to distribute it a little bit. I know some of these folks might seem a little bit sleepy, but if you look at them and smile, they actually do wake up and they respond to you pretty well, and it'll go okay. Like I said, I thought that you missed a chance to have a more effective stop at one point, but it wasn't anything that hurt you substantially. It's just sometimes you just got to think, I'm here, I've done it, I've said what I've got, let me be done. All right, thank you.